Hello students, this is Ranjini and we are seeing the fractions and decimals chapter of standard 7 CBSE syllabus, and we have completed solving the first 4 exercises of the chapter in our previous videos, that is exercise 2.1 to 2.4, and to exercise 2.5 we have completed the first 4 questions. Okay, so in this video we will be solving the questions from question number 5 of exercise 2.5. Okay, so let's start with the question. Okay, let's start with the 5th question. Write the expanded form. Okay, in this the first question is 20.03. Okay, so we have to, they've given a decimal number and we have to write the expanded form. Okay, so in the lower classes itself we have already studied how to expand an integer. Okay, if they are given a whole number, how to expand the whole number. Okay, now we are going to study how to expand a decimal number. Okay, so let's take the first question, which is 20.03. Okay, to solve this, let's take the integer part, which is 20. Okay, so if we take 20, how do we expand this 20? That is, what is this place? This is the units place, right? So how do we write? 0 into 1 plus, what is this place? This is tens place, correct? Plus 2 into 10. This is how we expand this 20, right? So if we do this, 0 into 1 is 0. Plus 2 into 10 is 20, which is equal to 20, which is the question. Okay, so this is how we expand a whole number. Okay, now we have to expand this decimal part also. Okay, which is 0.03. Correct? So how do we expand this? Let's take the first digit after the decimal point, which is 0. Okay, so we have to find what is this place. Okay, so for that I'll tell you another example. Let's take 0.2. Okay, so how do we expand this 0.2 is equal to, this can be written as 2 by 100, 2 by 10, right? So 2 by 10 is 0.2. That means that this is the 10th place. That is, whatever digit we have in this place, we have to divide it by 10 to get the decimal number, correct? So the first number here is 0. Instead of 2 we have 0. So how do we write this? Is equal to 0 into 1 by 10. Okay, 0 into 1 by 10. Here 2 into 1 by 10, we got it as 0.2, right? Similarly, here it is 0.0. First digit is 0. So we have to write 0 into 1 by 10. Okay. Plus, what is the second digit here? Second digit is 3. Okay. So for that, let's take another example. 0.02. Okay. Let's try to expand this number 0.02. How do we expand? See, I'll write it a little bit more bigger. 0.02. So how do we expand this? This digit is 2, right? So if we expand this digit, what is the place value of this digit? This can be written as 2 by 100, right? 2 by 100. So 2 by 100, if we convert into decimal, what will we get? 0.02. Correct? There are 2 zeros. So 2 digits should be there to the right hand side of this decimal point. So it is 0.02, correct? So whatever number is coming in the second position, we have to divide it by 100 to get the expanded form. Okay? So if you are taking 0.02, we get 2 by 100, right? The value of this digit is 2 by 100, correct? So similarly, come to this point, this is 3, correct? So the second digit is 3 here. So how do we expand this? 3 into 1 by 100. Okay, so this digit is called the 10th position. It is not 10, it is 10th. You have to add th to that. Okay, if it is to the right hand side of the decimal point, you have to add th. Okay, so this first position is the 10th position and the second position is the 100th position. 100th. Okay, so when we expand this decimal point, we get 0 into 1 by 10 plus 3 into 1 by 100. Okay, so if we solve these two, we will get the answer 0.03. You can try solving it. Okay, so now what should we do? We should combine these two. Question is 20.03. We have individually solved 20 and 0.03. Now what is this? We just have to add these two. Okay, for us to get the answer. So what is the answer? 20.03 can be written as 0 into 1 plus 2 into 10. This is the left hand side of the decimal. Now come to the right hand side, plus 0 into 1 by 10. The place value of this is 0 into 1 by 10 plus, what is this? 3 into 1 by 100. Okay, clear? This is the answer now. Now if we solve this one, we will get the answer 20.03. Okay, so we can try solving that. So this 0 into 1 is 0, plus 2 into 10 is 20, plus 0 into 1 by 10 is 0, plus 3 into 1 by 100 is 3 by 100, that is 0.03. So what is the answer? 20 plus 0.03, which is equal to 20.03. Didn't we get the answer? Yes, but we don't have to do all these things. I just did it so that you will understand. Okay, so this is our answer. This is our expanded form. Okay, now let's take the second question similarly. Okay, so if we take the digit to the left hand side of the decimal, it is 2. Okay, so 2, how can we write? 2 can be written as 2 into 1. Correct? This is the units place. Okay, to the left hand side of the decimal, whatever is there is an integer, right? So to the right hand side of the decimal, whatever there is the decimal part. Okay, so if we have a decimal number like this, like 16.79, this 16 is the integer part which is to the left hand side of the decimal, and 79 is the decimal part. Okay, so integer part we just have to do like whatever we do when expanding the whole number. Okay, so 2 into 1 plus, now come to the decimal part. Decimal part is, first digit is 0. So what should we write? 0 into 1 by 10. The first digit we will write it as 1 by 10. Okay, 0 into 1 by 10 plus 3 into 1 by 100. Okay, this first part is the first digit is the 10th position, TENTHS, 10th position. Second digit is the 100th position, HUNDREDTHS, 100th position. Okay, so whatever is there in the 10th position, we have to multiply it with 1 by 10, and whatever is there in the 100th position, we have to multiply it with 1 by 100. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, now let's take the third question, which is 200.03. Okay, so if we expand this, what is the integer part here? 200. Okay, so 200 is the integer part, so this can be written as, this is the units place. So 0 into 1 plus, again there is a 0 in the tens place, 0 into 10 plus, there is a 2 in the hundreds place, 2 into 100 plus, now what is there in the decimal part? 0 and 3. So if we take 0, it is in the 10th position. So 0 into 1 by 10 plus 3 into 1 by 100. This is the answer. So clear about this? Okay, now we'll go on to the next problem. Now let's take the fourth question, fourth subdivision of the same question, 2.034. Okay, so here if we see, what is the integer part here? 2. So how can you expand this to? 2 into 1, correct? Since this is the units place, it is 2 into 1. Plus, if we take this decimal part, what is the first digit? 0. So 0 is in the 10th place. T-E-N-T-H-S, 10th place. So how can we write? 0 into 1 by 10 plus, what is the next digit? 3. 3 is in which place? 100th place. So how can we write? 3 into 1 by 100. 1 by 100 plus, what is, which, 4 is in which place? It is in 1000th place. Okay, so it will go on like this. 10th, 100th, 1000th, 10,000, it will go on like this. Okay, so 4 is in 1000th place. So what? How can we write it? It's 4 into 1 by 1000. Okay, this is the expanded form. Okay, clear about this? Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So let's move on to the sixth question now, which is write the place value of 2 in the following decimal numbers, which is quite easy, right? So let's go on one by one. So the first question is 2.56. So here 2 is in the decimal part or the integer part? It is in the integer part, right? It is to the left hand side of the decimal point. Okay. So what is the place value of this 2? 2 is in the units place, right? So 2 units, or you can write it as 2. Okay. Now let's go on to the next problem, which is 21.37. Okay. So here 2 is in which place? Again it is in the whole number part, that is integer part, and it is in the which place? Tens place, right? So this is in the units place. So the next is tens place. So this 2 is in the tens place. So you can write 2 tens or 20. 2 tens can be written as 20, right? So 2 tens or 20. Now let's move on to the third question, 10.25. Now this 2 is in the decimal part, okay? So it is 0.2. Okay, so 10.25. Now this 2 is in the decimal part. Now what is the place value of the first digit after the decimal point? It is 2 tenths. Okay, so you can write it as 2 tenths, or you can write it as 2 by 10 or 0.2. Correct? 2 tenths, it can be written as 2 by 10, that we have already seen in the expansion, right? So 2 tenths can be written as 2 by 10, which is equivalent to 0.2. Okay. Now let's move on to the fourth problem, 9.42. Here 2 is in which place? This is the first digit after the decimal is the 10th place. Second digit after the decimal is 100th place. So this 2 is in the 100th place. Okay. So it can be written as 200th or 2 by 100. It's not 200. If it is in the left side of the decimal, it can be 200. But if it is in the right side of the decimal point, it has to be 2 by 100 or 0.02. Okay. Now let's take the next question, 63.352. Now this 2 is in which place? Thousandths place. Okay. So the place value of this 2 is 2000th. DTHS 2000s or 2 by 1000. It is not 2000, it is 2 by 1000, which is equivalent to 0.002, because there are 3 zeros in the denominator. It is 1000. So whenever we dividing by 1000, we have to keep 3 digit to the right hand side of the decimal point. So 0.002. Clear? Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Okay, now let's move on to the 7th question. Okay, Dinesh went from place A to place B and from there to place C. So this figure is given in the textbook itself. Okay, A, B, C and D. Okay, so Dinesh went from place A to place B and there to place C. So he moved in this direction, place A to place B and place B to place C. So this is Dinesh. Okay. A is 7.5 kilometer from B. So distance between A and B is 7.5 kilometer. Okay. And B is 12.7 kilometer from C. Okay, B is 12.7 kilometer from C. Okay. Now what's the next part of the question? Ayub went from place A to place D. So Ayub traveled from place A to place D. This is Ayub. Okay. And from there to place C. So from here he went to place C. Again Ayub. Okay, so Ayub moved in this direction. Okay. D is now 9.3 kilometer from A. So this distance A to D is 9.3 kilometer. Okay. And C is 11.8 kilometer from D. This distance is 11.8 kilometer. Okay. Now what is the question? Who traveled more and by how much? Okay. So there are two people in this. One is Dinesh and one is Ayub. So we have to find out who traveled more and by how much. Okay. So first let's take the distance traveled by Dinesh. Distance traveled by Dinesh is equal to, how much is it? From A to B 7.5 kilometer and B to C 12.7 kilometer. So if we add these two, we will get the distance travelled by Dinesh. Correct? So 7.5 plus 12.7. This is the distance travelled by Dinesh. So how will you add this? 12.7, 7.5. 7 plus 5 is 12. 1, 3, 10. 20.2 is the answer. Okay. So distance travelled by Dinesh is 20.2 kilometers. Okay. Now we have to find the distance travelled by Ayub. So how can we find this? Distance travelled by Ayub is equal to, he travelled from A to D, which is 9.3 kilometer, and from D to C, which is 11.8 kilometer. So we have to add these two, 9.3 kilometer plus 11.8 kilometer. Okay. So distance travelled by Ayub is 9.3 plus 11.8. Okay. 9.3. 11, 1, balance 1, 11. 21.1. So distance travelled by Ayub is 21.1 kilometer. Now who travelled more? Dinesh travelled 20.2 kilometers. Ayub travelled 21.1 kilometers. So who travelled more? Ayub travelled more. Okay. So Ayub travel more. By how much? Okay. So to know by how much, we have to find the difference between 21.1 and 20.2. Okay. Then we will get by how much more Ayub travel. Okay. So if we find that 21.1 minus 20.2. Okay. 11, 9. So 0.9 kilometer. So difference is equal to 0.9 kilometer. So Ayub travels 0.9 kilometer more than Dinesh. Okay, clear? Okay, now let's move on to the next problem. Okay, now let's move on to the 9th question. 8th question we will solve in the next video. Okay, so let's move on to the 9th question. How much less is 28 kilometer than 42.6 kilometer? Very easy, right? We have to find the difference between 42.6 and 28 kilometer. So 42.6 minus 28.0. Okay. So you just have to subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 12 minus 8 is 4. Here it will become 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. So 14.6 kilometer is the answer. Okay. Now rest of the problem, which is the 8th problem, we will solve in the next video, and the rest of the exercises also we will do in the next video. Bye bye.